Unfortunately for Angel Reese, she's dead last. And I'm not kidding you in this list of players. And she looks really, really bad in comparison. And we're going to take a look at that.
Unfortunately for Angel Reese, she's dead last, and I'm not kidding you in this list of players, and she looks really, really bad in comparison. And we're going to take a look at that. What if I told you that one of the most hyped rookies in the WNBA, the face of countless highlight reels, endorsement deals, and social media trends, is quietly putting up some of the worst offensive numbers in the league? Things that I've seen this offseason is the lack of videos involving Angel Reese working on layups. Now the layup issue is a real issue for Angel Reese. And I don't understand the taking all the... yeah, sure, you can practice 2-point shots just inside the 3-point line. You can practice 3-point shots, but there seems to be an emphasis on that from Angel Reese, and I don't understand because she should be trying to perfect her game inside. 5-foot Angel Reese may dominate your timeline, but the numbers tell a much different and far more troubling story. This is not just a case of rookie struggles, it's something deeper. Something that calls into question not just her current impact, but her future in professional basketball. Stay with me, because the data I'm about to share changes everything you thought you knew about Angel Reese Special Edition layups. Let's get B. Let's start with a number 46. 4%, that's Reese's true shooting percentage, a statistic that measures a player's scoring efficiency by combining field goals, three-pointers, and free throws into a single telling number. It's widely considered the best way to gauge how effectively a player scores, and Angel Reese, she ranks dead last among all volume scorers in the WNBA, 30 out of 30. This isn't a small sample anomaly. This is a season-long trend that separates her, not just from the league's elite, but from its average contributors. Shot 17% in the paint outside of the restricted area. This year, 17, bro. Are we serious? What, to put it in perspective, a typical WNBA player hovers well above 50% in true shooting, the league stars.
The lack of videos involving Angel Reese working on layups. Now, look, the layup issue is a real issue for Angel Reese, and I don't understand the taking all the... yeah, sure, you can practice 2-point shots just inside the 3-point line. You can practice 3-point shots, but there seems to be an emphasis on that from Angel Reese, and I don't understand, because she should be trying to perfect her game inside 5.
They often top 55 or even 60% REE is miles behind, and yet she remains a central piece of the Chicago Sky's offense. Why, that's the mystery. Now you might be thinking she's just a rookie. Give her time. That argument might hold weight until you consider the competition. Caitlin Clark, perhaps the most scrutinized rookie in WNBA history, has faced tighter defenses and higher expectations than anyone in recent memory. Yet Clark boasts a remarkable 58.3% true shooting percentage, good for 6th in the entire league. And first among all rookies, Caitlin Clark, a point guard known for her range, is not just surviving. She's thriving. She's doing more with less space, less height, and more defensive pressure. And she's doing it efficiently. Then there's Rickea Jackson, another rookie, another top 5 pick, her true shooting percentage 55.2%, still miles ahead of Reese. What's more, several other rookies were left off the list entirely, not because they played poorly, but because injuries limited their playing time. Reese, meanwhile, has played significant minutes and struggled in almost every offensive category. Let's break this down further. Angel Reese's effective field goal percentage, a stat that adjusts for the extra value of three-pointers, sits at a league-worst 39.5%. Her 2-point field goal percentage, just 40%. 3-point percentage, 18.8%. It gets worse. Reese's rebounding numbers have earned praise, but here's a stat that might make you rethink that narrative. Nearly 40% of her rebounds come off her own missed shots. She's inflating her stats with second-chance opportunities that wouldn't exist if she were finishing plays in the first place. It's not just inefficiency, it's creating inefficiency. Now consider this: Reese takes most of her shots from within 5 feet of the basket, an area where players her size are expected to dominate. Yet she converts only 44.5% of those attempts. Guards 7 and shorter are outperforming her at the rim. Let that sink in. Kelsey Mitchell, standing at just 5 or 8 and hits 60% of her shots. Within 5 FTRE is 6.3 in with length and athleticism. Yet she can't even crack 45% in Basketball terms, that's catastrophic. It's not just bad for a rookie, it's bad historically for a player with her usage rate shots from 5 to 9 FT re-hits, just 11%. That's one. Making every 10 attempts, it's almost unheard of. Especially for a post player from a technical perspective. The issues are glaring: footwork, inconsistent shot mechanics, unconventional and not in a good way. Multiple analysts have pointed out that her release point varies from play to play and her layup form looks more like an untrained middle schooler than a professional forward. One coach called it a fundamentals horror show. Another fan likened her movements to an uncoordinated baby giraffe, and yet Ree is out there practicing three-pointers on social media. We've seen the clips relaunching deep shots with poor form, clanking them off the rim, working on a skill she converts just 8% of the time instead of drilling layups. The very foundation of her position, it's like watching someone train for a marathon. By learning to juggle, the priorities are off, the mechanics are off, and worst of all, the self-awareness appears to be missing. Even basketball legends are starting to speak out. Lizzie looked her straight in the eye and said, "You need to fix how you shoot your layups." Period. This wasn't casual feedback. This was a warning, because at her size and her position, layups are supposed to be automatic or at the very least reliable. Instead, they've become the Achilles heel of her game. Then, Shaq compared Ree to Antoine Jamison, a player known for awkward, unorthodox shooting mechanics. Yes, Jamison scored over 20,000 points in the NBA, but he was never a superstar. He was never a foundational piece. That comparison didn't flatter Ree. It diminished her. Shaq even criticized her layup technique, calling it basic and inefficient, urging her to stop worrying about what people think and just fix her game. And yet Ree doubled down. She continues to focus on skills that don't align with her physical gifts. She continues to train like a guard instead of dominating the paint, like the forward she is. Let's be clear, this isn't about personal attacks. This is about potential untapped, wasted, misunderstood potential, because physically, Ree has everything you could want in a power forward: the size, the rebounding instincts, the mobility, but she hasn't put the technical pieces together. And until she does, she's going to remain a net negative on the offensive end. Just look at the elite bigs in the WNBA. A Wilson, Brittany Greer, John Jones. They all shoot over 60% at the rim. They use their size effectively. They play with control and finesse. They know who they are. Ree, on the other hand, seems to be chasing a version of herself that doesn't exist. She's not Caitlin Clark. She's not a floor-spacing guard. She's not a perimeter sniper. She's a 6'3" and post player who hasn't yet learned how to finish at the rim. Until that changes, the gap between hype and production will only grow wider. And the league, it doesn't wait. The WNBA is full of hungry young talent. Coaches are already adjusting their strategies. Teammates are recalibrating. Their trust fans are starting to ask questions. If Ree doesn't evolve and fast, her minutes will shrink. Her role will diminish, her career trajectory will flatten, and what could have been a story of dominance may end up as a cautionary tale. So, where does she go from here? That's up to Angel Ree. But one thing's for sure, the numbers don't lie, and right now they're screaming for change.